Since you were a kid, you've always been told to be kind to others, whether it was from your parents, grandparents, siblings, teachers, or peers. You've heard it from someone at some point in your life. If you've heard it enough times in your life, it can sometimes go right over your head, and you don't even think of what it really means to show kindness. Kindness means showing respect, showing appreciation, and it shows that you care, and it gives you the power that can make people feel valued. Being kind doesn't have to come from you and you only. Maybe someone helped you when you were stressed, invited you to sit with them or talk with them when you felt alone, or simply asked if you were okay. Most of the time, these moments don't feel huge or dramatic, but they stay with us anyway. That is because kindness is more powerful than people realize. And I'd like to share my way of explaining it to you in a topic that I am fluent in. Stories in literature often affect real life. And one story or series of stories that shows the danger of hatred better than almost anything else is one about a galaxy far, far away that gets torn apart, which many of you may know as Star Wars. In the grand scheme of things, throughout the Star Wars trilogy, the Galactic Empire ruled the galaxy for generations. They mandated, seized, and monitored almost everything in the galaxy and controlled the very basic freedoms that each being had. Whether it was how they dressed, who they talked to, where and when they could go places, things that should never be controlled by a higher power other than yourself. I tell you all this because of who and what the Empire was run off of, and what kept them in power for so long. Emperor Palpatine, secretly known as Lord Sidious, was the leader of such empire. He earns the title of Lord because he is a master in the ways of the Sith. Now at this point, you're definitely thinking, what is this nerd talking about with all this Star Wars nonsense? I'll try to keep it simple. The Sith, an ancient, power-hungry order of beings in the Star Wars universe. They harness the dark side of the Force by fueling their abilities through raw emotions like anger, greed, and the biggest of them all, hatred. When people strive off hatred and anger, the only thing it creates is fear and division, like how the entire galaxy was in shambles while the Empire took over. And that right there is why society needs kindness. Despite all the fear and control that the Empire created, there was still resistance and people that knew a better way. People who believed the galaxy could become something better. People like the Jedi. The Jedi stood for almost the complete opposite of what the Sith believed in. While the Sith gained power through hatred, anger, and greed, the Jedi valued and pushed peace, discipline, selflessness, and compassion toward others. Their strength did not come from controlling people through fear. It came from protecting and helping others, even when it was difficult. And along with the Rebel Alliance, despite being smaller and weaker than the Empire, fought for freedom, hope, and the belief that people deserved kindness and respect instead of oppression. What is interesting to me is that in Star Wars, the Empire looked stronger. They had bigger armies. More weapons, more control. But in the end, they still fell apart. Why? Because fear can control people temporarily, but it cannot truly unite them. Hatred divides people. Kindness and hope bring people together. And while Star Wars is fictional, that message is very real in our own world. Every day, people choose between anger or understanding, selflessness or compassion, hatred or kindness. And just like in Star Wars, those choices shape the world that we live in. Kindness may seem small. It may not look powerful in the moment, but neither did the rebellion when it first started. Sometimes the smallest acts, helping someone, listening to someone, showing someone respect, things that can slowly change people, communities, and even the direction of someone's life, which can lead them to doing even bigger and better things. That is why kindness is so important. So just like the Jedi, people can unite and be strong when we preach kindness, inclusiveness, and respect. It is one of the strongest choices a person can make. Thank you.